The East Hamilton Middle School student who was hit by a car in East Ridge last month is preparing to leave the hospital.
Police say 13-year-old Daniel Tominelli was hit by a driver who fell asleep at the wheel on Ringgold Road last December 3rd. The woman's car hit a truck parked on the side of the road and crashed into a road sign and a metal utility pole before finally coming to a stop. The young man was hit and thrown across the sidewalk, and for the first time since the accident, his dad talks to Channel 3 Eyewitness News. Here's Kate Smith with more on Daniel's recovery.
Douglas Tominelli calls his son a miracle child. He fought back tears talking about his son's recovery and how he was not expected to survive.
His mom called me and said, "You gotta hurry up, come down to East Ridge. Daniel's been hit by a car." Click.
It's a phone call Douglas Tominelli wishes he never had to answer. In a panic, he tried to collect his thoughts and started preparing for the worst.
Couldn't think, I couldn't process. I was running around trying to get dressed.
His son was rushed to Erlanger, where doctors and nurses operated on him for hours. Daniel's injuries included internal bleeding, fractured bones, a broken jaw, and severe head trauma.
The fractures were so extensive that the blood was just pouring down, and he was basically choking on his own blood, so they had to do an emergency tracheotomy so he can breathe.
For the next 5 weeks, Daniel remained in the intensive care, fighting for his life, while his father prayed that his only son would make it out alive as the happy, smart boy he once was.
God is, am I ready for a mentally disabled child after 13 years of normacy?
Slowly, Daniel began gaining consciousness and breathing on his own. He began therapy, and for the first time in what seemed like forever, he was able to communicate with his parents. A simple thumbs up from Daniel was all his dad needed to know his son was going to be okay.
So he was writing to us, and then he was texting to us, so everything just slowly came into place.
The last month has been difficult for the Tominelli family, but with the power of prayer, they say they are ready for Daniel to return home.
So many fears. There was just a lot of praying going on. There was a lot of confusion. In the end, everything worked out. Everything worked out.
Daniel is expected to return home to Chattanooga this week from the Shepherd Center in Atlanta. So far, there have been no charges filed against the driver who fell asleep. East Ridge police say the case has been handed over to the district attorney and is still an ongoing investigation. In the studio, Kate Smith, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.